Hello, and welcome to basically Bloodbowl. And today, for something different, we're going to look at what potential new Bloodbowl players we may see immortalised in Forge World Resin. So let's make some calculated guesswork. So, since the beginning of 2023, we've seen Games Workshop and their Forge World offshoot occasionally release seemingly random star players to already established teams. Bryce the Slice Cambio, Ripper Bolgrot, Cindy Pie Whistle, With the Grasp Double Draw, Grashnak, Anky Panky, Kirioth Krakenite, to name but a few. These characters all have one thing in common: their player spotlight already highlighted via a Spike magazine entry. So, if we look through the previous 17 editions, what other players have been mentioned who could grace a miniature Monday soon? Well, if we start all the way back at issue 1, we get Gobbler Grimlick, a creature emerging from the filth pits below the Crimson Spikes dugout. Possibly a mutant cross between human, an overgrown toad, or an escapee from the laboratories at Skaven clan Moulder. After eating a Beastman player, he found himself subbed on in his place, and the rest is history. On the pitch, this player is heavy on mutation, and probably a good all-rounder for any Chaos team. And sticking with Chaos, could we see the Nurgle player Buller Shardhorn, a mutated Pestigore riddled with mutation, sporting 2 heads, extra arms, horns? There is potential for a wonderfully twisted original model here. And also a strong runner, with tons of useful additional skills such as block, foul appearance, and stab. Nurgle gives us Tolly Glocklinger too, a ball and chain wielding bloater with an amazing bit of lore. Originally the son of a strongman and a bearded beauty, Tolly grew up in a travelling circus, destined to become the strongest of strongmen. He also had a fondness for bell ringing, and hefted giant bells as part of his act with his father. But the travelling show held a dark secret. They were all cultists of Nurgle, and so Tolly naturally matured. He became more disease-ridden, and his legend became born. He could certainly bring something fun and unpredictable to a Nurgle lineup. For Dark Elves, we get a wealth of potential talent, starting with Asperon Thorn, a true veteran of the game. What he does bring to a Dark Elf team, and potential Elven Union High Elf teams too, apart from a wealth of experience, is a bona fide high-level thrower, utilising such skills as Hail Mary Pass, Sure Hands, and Safe Throw. There's also Jeremiah Cool, and it's surprising we haven't seen this legend of the game yet. He costs a lot, but for a player potentially better than even Griff Overworld, he has to be, for an overpowered specimen such as he is. Possessing block, dodge, and pass, amongst others, he has all the upgrades to make him that top elite star. And we also get the elf that replaced him, Hubris Rakarth, a player born before Blood Bowl was rediscovered by Monk and became the phenomenon it is now. Hubris joined the training schools young and was expected to be pummeled amongst the other more experienced hopefuls, but Rakarth's cunning and brutality served him well, and he excelled, becoming a top defensive lineman. As a star player, Hubris is a top blocker. Don't underestimate the combination of Mighty Blow, Strip Ball, and Dirty Player in his arsenal. And for players that prefer their teams more undead, we find Garal Bloodshuker. A ghoul exhibiting more sense of reason than most of his kind, Garal is cunning and instinctual where the game is concerned. Holding skills such as Wrestle, Catch, and Sure Feet, he is a credible upgrade on normal ghouls as a top catcher or runner. Certainly, his addition to a shambling undead team, lacking the hopes of a vampire runner or a werewolf, would be most beneficial. Issue 5 of Spike brought us the Cape Condimentier himself, Captain Colander, a halfling full of character. He became a legend amongst the fans of the Pie Express, soon finding himself the only surviving player of the original lineup after only a handful of games. Indeed, as the season progressed, it became clear Captain Colander had either unimaginable luck or superpowers, surviving a Beastman stampede, going toe-to-toe with Varag Ghoulchewer, and even being flattened by a Dwarf Death Roller. Again, another characterful player, not much better than a halfling catcher, but with regeneration and being a tad faster and more robust, he really lends into his legend. And another star player full of character is the Wood Elf option, Swiftfine Glimmershard, otherwise known as the Spiteful Sprite or the Scary Fairy. Quite the diminutive diva, Swiftfine often takes the frustrations of not being taken seriously or any slight against a cute dainty appearance with teeth and claws. And maybe with the addition of Right Stuff, could we finally see a player Wood Elf Treeman can actually utilise? Another legendary potential is that of Ramtut III, twice an all-star player, being that despite retiring some 4,000 years previous from the game, he was dug up and resurrected into the Champions of Death team. Ramtut is a massive mummy, a monstrous strength 6 piece, hulking and imposing on the gridiron. But with Tomb Kings yet to reappear from the Team of Legend list, is he being reserved for their release in the future? We see Ugroth Bolgrot II, self-titling himself the Other Ripper, an orc hanging on the coattails of the popularity of Ripper Bolgrot. It didn't end well for Ugroth. A fight with the troll, a notorious court troll later, Ugroth was temporarily banned before returning to bring his orc idiocy and brutality back. Oh, and he has a chainsaw. He's an orc with a chainsaw. And finally, for today's edition, we see the most recent missing star player, Rowana Forestfoot. And we'll definitely be seeing this gnome running a stag into the community page very soon, as she's graced the pages of Spike very recently, and even comes with her own special rule. And if you can't wait, Grebo has their very own incarnation of Rowana to purchase now, as seen here. A special thanks to the designs sourced from around the internet to denote the possible look of these players as models. They are amazing, and certainly due credit for the great work to immortalise them on the pitch. There are more star players to look at in another video, but we'll get to them another day. But let me know what you think. Which ones are you most excited to see? Who is the most likely? Let me know. Until the next video, ciao for now.